Welcome back, Studio 701, where we celebrate all things about living in the 701.
There are some great podcasts that are produced here in North Dakota. And for Let's Talk, we're going to talk with our friend Jonah Lanto about his podcast network, The Good Talk. Hi, Jonah.
Good morning, Jonah.
Good. Hey, good morning, Jeff and Amber. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Now, one of your shows on the Good Talk network is called Myth America. So what's that all about?
In Myth America, it's really about American history. In this podcast, I'm co-hosted by Dr. Shaunan Tangney. Excuse me. She spent more than 20 years as a professor at Minot State University and is a brilliant writer and researcher and really deeply involved in the academia and studied a lot of American history. And we wanted to explore the institutions, the ideas, the big concepts that over time have really shaped American culture and American identity. So this podcast is live every other week Thursday. Our 5th episode is this week Thursday. And in episode 5, we'll be exploring the frontier, the American frontier, and kind of the idea behind is there an American character determined by a frontier spirit? So it's a lot of fun. And when we think about the American dream, what does it mean? Is it the same for everybody? If I asked you, Jeff, what is the American dream? What would your answer be?
It would be buying a home, Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
Starts with the home. Amber, how about you? What's the American dream?
Health and wealth and love, family.
Yeah, my serious answer, Jonah, the American dream is to provide a great life for your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Safety, security, health, a place to live, some of these, yeah, sure.
You said it much more eloquently than I did.
To achieve the American dream, what do you need? Success, right? But how do we define success? How do you measure it? Traditionally, by James Thurlow Adams in the Epic of America, he discussed success in a variety of ways, and we explored through absolute success, relative success, and then competitive success. So throughout this podcast, again, we really get down to some of these deep concepts that we hear about, but maybe we don't really know where they come from, who inspired these concepts, and how big of an influence have they had on who we are today. And that's where the myth comes from, because I think there's a lot of these big ideas that we only learn about on the surface. And, with the help of Dr. Shaunan Tangney, we can really get to the roots of some of these big ideas and help break them down and explore them in new ways. And it's really awesome. It's a fun exploration of American history. So in our first episode, we looked at the nuclear family. Do you guys know what the nuclear family is? The concept of the nuclear family?
Dad,
That's not where I was going with that, so no, she might.
Isn't it just mom, dad, daughter, son, like white picket fence?
Kind of, Jeff, where were you going with it?
Man, I was going with the table of, what is it?
The table of, I don't know.
I don't know. I look like
Jonah,
an idiot
you're
right
making
now.
us think, which is good.
I know, come on.
This is
9:30 in the morning.
This podcast is all about.
You got enough. You got the pumpkin spice coursing through your veins, so you should be prepared. You should be able to snap fire on this. But the nuclear family is an idea. Pretty similar. It's the house. It is a single provider. It's a couple of kids. The picket fence. The income. But really, for me, it was hilarious back in that first episode when we explored that. I had a completely different idea of what the nuclear family was. And so it's great. Like, I get to kind of represent on this podcast, I represent the person who has learned about a lot of these concepts through video games and reality TV and movies and cartoons and Netflix and 24/7 infotainment channels. Really, again, where oftentimes you can only get to the surface, or you might even be misled about what some of these concepts are. And then in the subsequent episodes after the nuclear family, we explored American exceptionalism. Mm-hmm. And what is that? Where does it really come from? And it comes I don't want to give the whole podcast away, but it comes from the Genesis model, and it's really something that we took with early settlers who had a really unique belief of what it meant to be exceptional. That house on the hill concept.
Right.
From
Jonah,
there, we went into.
we have to cut you off.
From there, we went.
This is why people need to listen to your podcast.
Tune in, everybody.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and it gets you to think. And really quickly, I just want to make sure we mention about your latest true crime podcast, which is going to debut soon. Just tell us really quickly about that, and then we have to go.
Time flies when you're having fun. Midwest Murder is a true crime podcast exploring murder in the Midwest. We will be starting with a lot of North Dakota murders. It is debuting in late October, featuring myself, and co-host Don Dugan-Palumbo.
Okay.
Perfect. Jonah, thank you so much for being with us this morning. This has been Let's Talk. Coming up on Studio 701, Parents Share with Parents. The